So welcome to the new Adams County Historical Society. And as you can see, our site is well under construction and we're very excited about it. For those of you who don't know, this area that we are on, prior to the Civil War and during the American Civil War, is part of the Adams County Almshouse property. And this area was owned by the Adams County government up until the Adams County Historical Society got it from the county around 2004. And this area from 1949 until about 2000 was the site of the Adams County Prison. So you might know that the prison building was here for many years. We actually tore the prison building down and we're actually building on the same site of the prison. A little known fact about the area is the college playing fields across the street during the 1938 75th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg. That's where the encampment of veterans was located, and we have quite a number of photographs of that site at that time. But what we like to do is we're going to take you a little walk through the building and talk about some of our expectations and what we're planning in the building. What's really exciting for us is we've been working with blueprints and with renderings of what the space will look like, and now it's kind of coming to fruition for us, and it's very exciting to see. But this is the front entrance of the building where you'll walk up to the desk, and you'll gain information about our activities. And the society will consist of our archives, an events center, which we're really excited about, an educational classroom, and we'll be able to do presentations, and of course everybody's looking forward to the new Adams County Museum. So let's take a little walk through the museum area. So this is the front door of our museum, and when you walk in, we're going to have a section about Adams County geology and geography, where we'll be able to highlight the rock formation of Devil's Den, the Mount Joy meteorite, and of course over here we're going to have our dinosaur footprints. We have a Native American area where we're going to highlight spear points and arrowheads in a large case along this wall. We have a quern, or a stone that was used for preparing meals from Native Americans. It'll be on this wall. And we have a thing about myths and legends, including my favorite topic, Indian Field here. And when we go through the hallway here, we're going to have a whole section on the early settlement of Adams County. And we're going to have stuff about William Penn and Mary Jameson and the French and Indian War. I can't wait to see some of this stuff. And over here on the wall, we're going to have stuff about early roads in Adams County, including one of our early road markers that we have for a display. And then in this area, and we'll show you a bit of the rendering here, we're going to have James Gettys's Colonial Tavern, and a little bit about the laying out of the towns in Adams County, the laying out of Gettysburg, stuff about James Gettys. And we're going to have some activities for children in this area that should be pretty exciting. And we're going to have stuff on slavery in Adams County. And then we're going to move into an area that'll be more of Adams County from about 1800 to 1850, which will cover things about the Adams County Courthouse. We're going to have a huge case about Thaddeus Stevens and his world while he lived in Gettysburg between 1816 and 1842. We have a large case that will highlight some of Adams County's industry. We're going to talk about the railroad and the carriage making, and highlight some of the early life in Adams County. And then we'll walk into an area that will be devoted to Adams County during the American Civil War. And this will be more about soldiers from Adams County that fought throughout the 4 years of the Civil War. And some stuff about the causes of the war and things that were, how the people here felt about it. We have a large wall over here that will have a map of Gettysburg at the time of the battle, or close as we can get. And then if we walk around through this area, we're going to go into our section, which is about a third of the museum, dealing with Adams County and the battle. And we have stuff about the invasion in June 26th in the case over here, and we have a July 1st case, and we have stuff about the farms on July 2nd and 3rd on the battlefield. We're going to have a video about the battle that leads, about some of the events that lead up to the Battle of Gettysburg. And of course, we have a whole section devoted in our museum to a experience of what it was like to be in a house during the battle and how horrible it must have been. And we'll be talking more about that in further videos. But if you go through that experience, or if you don't go through that experience, and you come out, we're going to have more about the aftermath of the battle. And a large amount of our collection deals with things in the aftermath, from our bed headboard, from the Sweeney house with bullet holes in it, to a sign with bullet holes in it, to artifacts that were picked up on the battlefield afterwards, to the use of the area as a vast hospital after the battle, to the burial of the dead. And then, of course, we have a whole section on Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address to round out our Civil War experience. And we're going to cover the Gettysburg Address from the civilian experience. And we have one of my favorite things in the museum, a wall of Adams County faces, and people that saw Abraham Lincoln give the Gettysburg Address, or people that were moved by the Gettysburg Address, or people left accounts of it. But we have a large wall of faces, mostly local people, almost all local people, and their reaction to the Gettysburg Address. We have a video about Lincoln's Gettysburg Address on the wall down here. And then after you pass through this area, we're going to have more about Adams County in more recent times. We'll have a section on commercialism of the battlefield and memorialization of the battlefield. So along this wall, we kind of planned it as a continuation of the area from the time of the Civil War to the present day. And then there sort of be a vitrine in the middle of the museum. And if you walk around the other side, we're going to deal more with local history. Life in Adams County during World War I and World War II, the Eisenhower years. So we'll have kind of an area that has more of a local slant and an area that has more of a national slant. And then if you go around the corner here towards the end, we're planning on putting a large wall here with displays of all the different presidents and dignitaries that had visited Gettysburg over the years. And we're going to touch on topics relating to Gettysburg in the national memory, and how Gettysburg is viewed by people over the years outside of Gettysburg. And then another thing that's very exciting is we decided along this wall to the rear of to the end of the museum, to put a wall of modern Adams County faces. People that have had an impact on Gettysburg over the years in more recent times, and not just, historical figures, but more modern figures. And I think a lot of people are excited about that if you saw our survey that we sent out about who might be on that wall. And then, of course, when you exit the museum, there are other opportunities for you to help the Adams County Historical Society. We're going to have a large gift shop here, hopefully, where we'll have maybe stuffed dinosaurs from the dinosaur footprints. Maybe we'll have a contest to come up with a name for the dinosaur that made the footprints. Maybe Sue the Sauropodomorph or something like that. But I'm sure we'll have shirts, and we'll have books dealing with local historical subjects that you can buy on your way out of the gift shop. But we also have an educational room where we'll be showing movies and doing presentations on local history. And of course, our events center and archives, which will be upstairs on the second floor. So thanks for joining us in this little tour of the Society, and maybe we'll give another tour when it gets further along.